Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about everything regarding homeschool and a life update for the 2025-2026 school year, year 8. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sade. I'm a homeschool mom to 5 children, and we have just completed our third term. There we go. We just completed our third term. We do 6 weeks on, 1 week off, and actually this time we ended up having like 3 weeks off, so we basically took December off, not on purpose, but just the way that life kind of rolled. And so we are doing a little bit of light schooling right now, and so for our morning time we have picked up the 1 Year Bible. I started it before January because I know that we're gonna not actually be on pace anyway. Incorporating some manners. There you go. Some social emotional. If you watched my previous video of like all the curriculum we will be using, I decided I was using one for each one of my kids, kindergarten, 1st, and 5th grade. And I just decided to stick with 5th grade, and then we'll just rotate back to kindergarten once we finish the whole series, which there's one for 6th grade as well. And I tailor it. Nothing has been over my kindergartner and 1st graders' head, so this is fine. We added a little bit of Christmas schooling, and so we're doing Christmas is Coming, and it talks about traditions from around the world. And we actually just started this yesterday. The first one we did, we didn't start from the beginning. We went to Mexico, and I am totally enjoying this because it does relate it back to Christ. It talks about the traditions and what each thing means in regards to the Christian faith. So if you are interested in relating the message of Christmas and Advent to your children, this is a great book. There's more than 24 stories, but and we won't get through all of them, but this has been super great. And there was like something, Los Puedos, I think I'm saying that correct. They talked about that, and then we watched a video. I just found a quick video on YouTube, and that was super helpful and joyful. My daughter asked for us to do France today, so that's what we'll be doing today. I got this from the library, but definitely something I'm thinking about just purchasing. And then because we are talking about around the world, I decided to add a little bit of geometry. Not geometry. See, that's my math brain coming in. I decided to add a little bit of geography. And so we talked about Mexico yesterday, and then today we're going to talk about France. And just if you haven't seen this, this is from Giglio, if I'm correctly. Yes. The same person who does the science devotionals. And let me see, I'm going to turn it up to 15 because we just did this yesterday. But we did talk about Mexico, and we looked at this atlas, and then also pray for Mexico yesterday. And yeah, so that's how our morning time has been going. It's been less than 20 minutes. I mean, that's it. And if you also have been watching my other videos, we haven't been doing like a morning meeting or a morning basket, just because of having 3 kids on doing 3 different things, and me kind of definitely being the facilitator of all that. It was just a lot. And so sometimes I was picking up our like Bible facts thing and just kind of going through that, but it has not been anything consistent. Like, to be honest, we've probably only been doing it like once a week, if that. And so this has been refreshing and a great pillar and a great start to our day, because it is allowing me, I saw like what I'm missing. And so the whole point of me homeschooling is to teach my children to love God. And so we're getting back to the basics, but also we are not doing much of regular school. So take it as a grain of salt, you know, every homeschool is going to be different, and that's what I love about this. And so let's start with my 10-year-old. She is in the 5th grade, but as you know, grade is not really, I'm trying to get out of the mindset of grade. I'm trying to just stick with like elementary, middle, and high school. And with that being said, her last technical year in elementary school, we are rounding out just relationships with words, reading, math concepts that stick, but we are using that actually. I do feel like I need to pull out Math Facts X6 because she just did a review we're using Apology and Math grade 4, and some of her she just did a mixed review, and she kind of forgot how to divide. And so I had to just talk to her about how it's reverse multiplication, which she understood, but also that's also my fault because we haven't been doing, like in the beginning, it tells you what you should be reviewing every day. And so we haven't been doing the reviews, which means, I need to be doing the reviews with her so that she does not forget division. Her multiplication has been great. She actually pretty much taught that portion to herself, and even now with this the next grade up, she's actually teaching herself. And so I'm less involved, but I have a close eye and I'm checking her work. So that's also been helpful, and I'm loving that. With her reading curriculum, which is from phonics to reading, we have 2 more lessons in the level B book, which is blue, and we'll be moving to level C, the green book, after break. And so that's exciting because she kind of gets a fresh start, but we are going to kind of go through it pretty quickly because my hope is not to carry that into middle school. I don't know if that makes sense. So like my whole goals for elementary school as an umbrella is to teach reading, teach word studies and all of that, and then we move on to more conceptualizing information, analyzing information, and being able to synthesize. More higher level thinking. Let me see, products, I guess that's what you could say, or that's not the word I want, but just higher level thinking. And then the way that she is releasing the information to me, referring the information to me, like just regurgitating information, that's not going to be what my goals will be for her for middle school, if that makes sense. That's what I want to say. So yeah, we're just moving on. And then so writing, so we are using Harcourt trophies, and we are toggling between grade 4 and grade 5. So but what I did notice is that her reading is up there, her grammar is up there, her spelling is up there, but when it comes to writing, when it comes to paragraph writing, she's got her sentence structure is great, but when it comes to paragraph writing well written paragraphs with, topic sentence, closing sentence, and 3 detailed sentence, we still need a little work. So I dialed her back to 3rd grade, and I purchased, what did I purchase? Evan Moore, 6 trait writing. And so that follows what Harcourt Trophies is kind of doing, what Harcourt Trophy does. I purchased that because they have all of the graphic organizers already there, and then on Fridays there's a writing prompt, which I felt is more on her level. Now, with that being said, I do see the significance of having everything related to the story that they're reading for the week from Harcourt Trophies, but it's just not going to work. And sometimes I will change the writing prompt to fit what's in the 4th and 5th grade Harcourt Trophies curriculum to the 3rd grade level. I hope that makes sense. So basically, I'm using the 6 trait writing, but I'm adapting it to 3rd grade, and adapting it to what she's reading on the 4th and 5th grade level. And then, so we had math. Oh, we finished Apologia Science, Zoology, 2nd edition. Yay! It was so fun. The kids, they totally enjoyed all the experiments. The final product, the final project, even the notebooking. My 7-year-old, who totally is not like into anything school, he was totally in for science. Like, it was just the most beautiful moment for me to like see us accomplish something together as a family. And so yeah, I'll be having a review of how I felt about the whole thing in a separate video, but just know it was so precious. And I probably already said this before, but when I know that when we are relating things to God, sometimes it can be like really cringe, and sometimes people are like really stretching, but this was very natural, and it still kept God conversation in our home and in our science. And that's what I love so much about this curriculum. The next one that we're going to do is botany, but we are going to wait until spring because there are a lot of things that we're going to need to grow and cultivate and things of that nature. So this is our science term. The next term, it will be strictly history. We will be starting off, I think, chapter 12 or 13 in Story of the World, Volume 2. And so, yeah, everything is going great in that area. It did take us like a year and a half to finish Apologia's zoology, but also we were not very consistent with it in the beginning of this year and the beginning of last year. So you could say it took us a year if we were being consistent, but we were very consistent this 6 weeks because I could like see the end of the road. And so yeah, it was fun. And that was something else that my 5th grader, she facilitated a lot of the experiments. And now that I think about it, I probably would have bought 3 nature's workshops. What do you call those things? Experiment kits, because the kids had to share. And I just felt like, well, one, it was a financial purchase, it was like $123, but I think it would have been worth it to have everyone have their own. That way it wouldn't have been like one person in control. But you live and you learn, and now I know for botany what to do. Next is my 7-year-old. We are focusing heavily. We're reading heavily. We're focused on reading. We are doing from phonics to reading. He's still in the red book. He's on like lesson 7. And then we are also doing Harcourt Trophies Readers, grade 1. We are also doing Harcourt Trophies Grammar and Writing. And so we did not pick up, so he's what you would consider a 2nd grade. We did not pick up the vocabulary workshop grade 2 yet, and that's something I do want to incorporate, but reading takes us so long that I don't want to add anything to that, because really his focus should be reading. And so once he gets a hang of moving a little bit quicker with that, we'll pick that up. And then his math, Apologia's grade 2, he's doing great with that. He's I feel like he has my brain a little bit, and so I do some I have empathy for him when it comes to reading, and it taking him a little while, but we'll get there. And then with math, he gets it, and so it's been fun. He's definitely hands-on. This is totally, if you have a kid who likes doing things and is not a worksheet kid, that's the curriculum for him. And then he also enjoys, I did pick up Kate Snow. So he finished addition, facts, that stick. We have not moved to subtraction, facts, that stick, because I need to do multiplication, facts, that stick. And I tried to do them I needed to move to multiplication, facts, that stick with my 10-year-old. I tried to do 2 at one time, but I just think it was like too many manipulatives for me. And so I just need to stick with multiplication, facts, that stick with my daughter. And then once we're done with that, I'll go to subtraction, facts, that stick. But he does not really need it, so I don't feel the rush to do that with him. And then we also have the Math with Confidence, grade 1. He uses that as like a warm-up, and he really does like that. I also have the Math Mammoth reviews, math reviews, and I didn't print them out in color, and so they don't really like those. But I like Math Mammoth reviews because they were cheaper and it was electronic. I could just print them out. So I don't know. They have both of them, and they can just, I let them pick which ones they want to do for like their little warm up thing, like as they're waiting for me. So that's my 7-year-old. My kindergartner, my 5-year-old, he has a loose tooth right now, so he's like big boy status. He is working on what are we doing for reading for him? The same thing I'm doing with the other kids from phonics to reading, but he has the yellow book, and he's on lesson 9. He is doing great. I don't have any issues with him. I was actually thinking the other day to go ahead and move him to the accelerated pacing that you can get online. So I think I'm gonna do that because he's ready. And then the kids were telling him that he couldn't read a couple days ago, and he was like, I can read my cat book, and he can read his cat book. But I'm gonna also probably go pick him up some little readers from the library. We have the Bob's books, and he's been reading those as well. So yeah, it's working. And then for him, I picked up Math with Confidence Level K, just the review book. We've been doing that, and I still have not picked up his original math, his real math curriculum, which is Saxon Math Level K. I just think I'm burned out from my now 2nd grader who used it, but I do want to pick it back up because there were a lot of fun things that we did do. So maybe the next 6 terms I'll pull it out. And so yeah, that's my kids in a nutshell. They finished out their cooking class. They're still doing homeschool PE. They are doing basketball with the local rec center, all 3 of them. And then my daughter has the art class through the county that's being hosted at my church. And then the artist actually extended the class for a week. So they won't be meeting during like Christmas or whatever, but we'll be going into January with that. So, and then they're going to end with a little art show. So that's the kids in a nutshell. As for me, I've submitted all of my final exams for this semester, and my next semester starts early January. So I will be getting my mind right for that. Also, I'm still preaching once a month in different aspects. Like last month, I preached at my home church, and it was on Revelation 13, and I'm still getting accolades and just thank yous from that sermon. And it was actually the week that ICE came to our city, so it was great to kind of give them some contemporary context to that text. And then I'm also still leading second hour, leading a group of people in second hour, but mostly I am leading unless I'm not there preaching somewhere else. We are ending our series like this year with Advent, and then next year 2026 I'm actually going to try to use this resource. And basically it because we've been doing things on our own, like kind of like thinking about topics, thinking about scriptures, and tailoring it to our church. But I was just gonna follow these 4 units, and they break the year up into 4. So there's fall, winter, summer, spring, and these are sorry. And so these are the topics that they will cover in each unit, but each unit has a lesson. Each lesson stands on its own, so participants don't have to come every week. But I just thought this would be easier for me, as with me being in my classes, that I don't have to create lesson plans, and I can use this as a spine for our Sunday school, not necessarily a script. So I'm excited for this resource. And then I'm preparing to preach this Sunday at another church. So I think that's it. Oh, I feel like in this season right now, God is just speaking to me about slowing down and waiting and observing and noticing. Noticing the ways that God is still in control, and just receiving peace, being a pillar of peace when things seem chaotic. That's just where I feel like things are leading me, where I'm being led in Christ right now. So just peace. And I'm happy that God is a God who is peace. And I'm glad that God is a keeper. And I just rest in that. I know that's like probably like, how do you rest in that? And it's just being grateful, just being thankful, acknowledging that the peace that I have is not mine. This is peace from God, and knowing that God is still in control. So I don't know. Yeah, this has just been an interesting season, and I thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below. But I think I covered everything. If you haven't heard it today, just know that our Heavenly Father loves you. And don't forget to drink your water and repent. Bye. Oh, what do you want for Christmas? Or if you're watching this after Christmas, what did you get for Christmas? Bye.